we're going to talk about something that's likely to affect many US businesses, specifically those that rely on low-skilled workers, the possibility of large-scale immigration raids. Yes, you heard it right. As we know that President-elect Donald Trump has promised to crack down on illegal immigration, and one of the most significant consequences of this plan could be major increase in deportation and workplace raids. So, what does this mean for businesses and how can employers prepare for the upcoming changes? Let's break it down. First, let's start with the basics. If you know or manage a business that hires a lot of workers in the industries like manufacturing, food processing, agriculture, construction, or even hospitality, industries where many workers are low skilled, this news might be unsettling. Why? Because many of these workers could be undocumented, meaning that they don't have permission to work in the United States. Now, employers have been required to verify their workers' legal status for decades. In fact, since 1986, employers have to complete a form called I-9, and that is for every new hire. The I-9 form helps verify whether somebody is legally allowed to work in the country. But here's the thing, documents can be faked, and even if you follow the rules, you might still be at risk. For example, many employers use a system called e-verification, which checks employee data against the government records to ensure workers are authorized. But here's a twist. Criminals can steal somebody's identity and create fake documents that pass e-verification. So, even well-meaning employer can get caught up in this. Now here is a bigger question. What could happen if your company gets caught in a raid? Let's talk about that. There are two main ways the government could come after you. A silent raid or a forceful raid. This is like a surprise checkup. The Department of Homeland Security can show up at your workplace with an inspection notice and suddenly ask for all your employee records. Everything from payroll data to copies of workers' identification documents. If your I-9 forms aren't complete or if you have workers who are unauthorized but you don't notice, you can face serious fines. The penalties can range from $300 to $30,000 per worker. And that's not the worst part. If ICE, that means Immigration and Custom Enforcement, finds that you are knowingly hired undocumented workers, it could lead to criminal charges. Then comes the forceful raid. This is much more dramatic than before. Imagine dozens of armed agents storming your workplace, blocking all the exits. They seize documents, computer, phones, and arrest workers they believe are undocumented. Employers can even face criminal charges like fraud, harboring illegal workers, or tax evasion. Now, these charges could lead to prison time and fines in the hundreds or thousands of dollars. This can literally destroy your business overnight. Now, let's talk about what we can do to protect our businesses. First of all, start by reviewing your I-9 form. Are they still out correctly? Are they stored properly? It's important to regularly check these forms to avoid technical mistakes that could lead to penalties. Secondly, use e-verify. If you're not already using it, sign up to e-verify. This system helps confirm that your workers are authorized to work in the US. It's not perfect, but it's still better than nothing. Properly handle payroll and taxes, and this is the most important part. Ensure that your workers are being paid correctly and that they are filling the tax in the order. If you are not paying taxes properly, that could be another reason to be targeted. Then, watch out for red flags. Pay attention to unusual patterns in hiring, like a lot of workers with documents from the same state or workers whose personal information doesn't seem to match up. Sometimes employees use stolen identity or fake documents, and it's important to spot these issues very early. Also, please prepare for the worst case scenario. Identify key people in your company who will handle this situation if a raid happens. It's also a good idea to consult with the immigration lawyer to ensure that you are ready. You might also want to run through practice scenario with your team. Finally, if this sounds overwhelming, you don't have to go through it alone. There are law firms that specialize in these areas and can help you with everything from reviewing your I-9s to defending you in the case of a raid. Now, to sum this up, while no one wants to think about immigration raid, the reality is that businesses need to prepare for potential disruption. If you are an employer, it's time to take action, review your practice, and make sure that everything is in order. Now, the best way to avoid problem is to be very protective and stay ahead of the game. For more such videos, do follow TimesXP.